Hi everyone and welcome back. Today I'm sharing another fun zero waste project perfect for Christmas. This project uses up your tiniest of scraps layered and ironed onto Bondaweb, a double-sided fusible interfacing. When used in this way you can make a new sturdy fabric from your old scraps. Watch the first video where I make a zero waste garland for more instructions on this technique. We're going to layer together repeated shapes to make a bauble. Take your template and draw around your shapes on your fabric. I'm using a roll of tape to make a circle, but you can use any shape you like. A simple triangle might work well for a Christmas tree, or you could try a snowman shape. Your shape needs to be a clean, bold silhouette, nothing too complicated. Try to find the best layout placement on your fabric to use as much as possible, but don't worry, I have plenty of ideas to how to use up any scrappy offcuts. I'm using a Frixion pen to draw out my shapes, which is removable by heat. You need between 6 and 8 shapes. Any more and your machine may struggle to sew through all of the layers. When you've drawn out enough shapes, take a sharp pair of fabric scissors and begin cutting them out carefully. Cut your fabric into smaller strips first to make this easier. Take your time and cut your shapes as accurately as possible. Your shapes will line up better and you'll get a much more pleasing result. The Bondaweb stabilises the fabric and gives quite a firm surface to cut. The shape is crisp and bold, although there may be some slight fraying, which is to be encouraged as part of the process. If you find that some of the fabrics are lifting away from the background, take a hot iron and press again to melt the glue. Now that you've cut out all of your shapes, it's time to layer them together. Pay careful attention to the colour order. Mine are blue on one side and red on the other. At first I arranged them so the colours were alternating, but I decided to face the same colours together so that it looks more pleasing when the shapes are opened out. When you've decided on your colour order, layer together and make sure all the edges are lined up. Next you'll need to find your line of symmetry to sew down the centre. It's important that this is smack bang in the middle, otherwise your decoration won't hang straight and it won't open out evenly. My circle has a diameter of 8 centimetres. Measure the widest part of your shape and draw your line down the centre. Once you've done this, carefully pin the layers together or use wonder clips. Now it's time to take it to your machine and sew. We're going to sew a single line of stitching down the centre to hold the layers together. Make sure you have a fresh needle that is strong enough to sew through many layers. A walking foot will help guide the many layers of fabric through the feed dogs without disturbing the layers. My machine has a walking foot built in. Go slowly, remembering to backstitch at the top and the bottom. For extra security, I tie the thread tails into a little knot before snipping them. Next we'll be adding a loop so you can hang your bauble. You can use a piece of string, ribbon or even a selvage edge offcut. I'm using some narrow offcut strips that blend in nicely with my project. Attach the loop at the top on your line of stitching. Place one end on one side and then fold round and place on the other side. Try not to attach it too far down, otherwise it will be hard to fold the shapes out. I'm hand sewing mine in place with pearl cotton number 8, but use whatever thread you have to hand. Try to match the thread to the fabric. Once your loop is attached, you can begin folding out the layers. I have 6 circles, so I'm folding 3 on either side of the stitched line to the front and then 3 towards the back. This will create the lovely spherical shape. Take your time here. I like to run my nail gently along the fold line to encourage the fabric to stay in place. If you find that it's not doing that, you can use an iron to gently encourage it. Because of the way these baubles are constructed, they store completely flat. Every year when you take them out, you'll need to refold them in place again. There are endless ways to customise this project. You can try different shapes and sizes. You can vary the colours, layout and pattern of your scrap fabrics. You could also attach a bead or a bowl to the other end, or maybe stitch several together to make a garland. I hope you're as excited about the possibilities of using this technique as I am. Do let me know in the comments if you decide to give this a go yourself, and let me know what type of fabrics you're using. And as always, thank you so much for following along.